Estonya, Rusya-Ukrayna savaşı boyunca Ukrayna'nın en kararlı destekçilerinden biri olarak uluslararası arenada dikkat çekti. Harici'ye konuşan Estonya Savunma Bakanı Hanno Pevkur, Tallinn'in son gelişmelerle ilgili yaklaşımı konusunda açıklamalar yaptı. Estonya Dışişleri Bakanı Margus Taşkna yaptığı açıklamada Avrupa liderlerinin Donald Trump'ın Kiev ve Moskova arasında hazırlayacağı herhangi bir barış anlaşmasını desteklemek için askeri güç göndermeye hazır olmaları gerektiğini söyledi. Peki Estonya ve müttefikleri bu yönde somut adımlar attılar mı?
Well, of course, we all understand that it's still too early to talk about final peace, and we see that the battlefield is not in this moment yet. Of course, we've always said that we have to help Ukraine as much as we can and as long we need. Regarding the peace, of course, we all understand that before the peace there has to be a ceasefire. When the ceasefire is there, it has to be guaranteed, and we also understand that it has to be guaranteed together with the international allies. So this is why we have not excluded anything at the moment. We want to be part of these negotiations. If that comes onto the table, it's not onto the table yet. But of course, we always said also that there cannot be any peace negotiation or any peace without Ukraine. And if Ukraine is ready for this, then of course we are ready to support them.
Peki Estonya, Ukrayna'ya yardım için asker göndermeye hazır mı?
When we talk about guaranteeing the peace, we have not excluded that, but also we have said very clearly that before these peace negotiations starts, Ukraine has to have a stronger position, and when Ukraine wants to have a stronger position, then all the Western allies have to send as much help as we can, and we have to deliver all the possible equipment what is in our possession in order to help Ukraine, and also to train the Ukrainian soldiers. So, as I said, it's still a bit too early, but we all understand and see that there are rumors going on about different options. But our position is very clear that no peace without Ukraine, and if there will be some kind of guarantee or peace and guarantee mission, then of course all the Western allies together have to be part of that.
Estonya'nın son eğitim reformları kapsamında tüm 1. sınıf öğrencilerine Estonca öğretiliyor olacak. Ülkede Rusça tamamen yasaklandı ve yetkililer Estonca dil eğitimine geçişle ilgili yeni yasaya uyulmasını sağlamak için okulları denetlemeye başlayacak. Bu durum Moskova'dan sert tepkiler gelmesine yol açtı.
We have also Ukrainian minority, we have Finnish minority, we have Latvian minority, we have many other minorities, total tens and tens of nations who are living in Estonia. So the state educational system is in Estonian language, and this is the point. Of course, we have also international schools, for instance, European school, which is giving the studies in English. But when we talk about the national school system, then this is in Estonian, and will be also something we would like to see in the future, that it continues. Regarding the any reactions from someone, then Estonia is an independent country. We are doing our decisions our own, and this is the answer, and there is no other understanding.
Trump'ın yeniden ABD başkanı seçilmesiyle birlikte Ukrayna'da müzakere yoluyla bir çözüm için açıklamalar ve yol haritaları paylaşılmaya başlandı. Peki Tallinn, Ukrayna'da barışın sağlanması için ne tür bir çözüm öngörüyor?
As I said in the beginning, there cannot be any peace without Ukraine. Secondly, what is very, very important, that Russia has to take the responsibility for all these war crimes, deporting the children, killing civilians, raping women, etc., etc. So this is what we see in Ukraine. This is what has been also proven by facts and collected evidences. And Russia has to take the responsibility. So that means that the peace, when it's done or when it's concluded, it has to be the fair peace, and also Russia has to pay for all these war crimes, not only about the crimes but also destructions what they have done in Ukraine. So that means that, you know, I believe it will be quite long peace negotiation if it will be conducted one moment. But again, our position is very, very clear. So when I put it in three like bullets, then first, no peace without Ukraine. Secondly, Russia has to take the responsibility, and thirdly, this peace has to be a fair peace with all these different elements.
Estonya'nın adil barış tanımında ise Rusya'nın Ukrayna Savaşı'nda ortaya çıkan yıkımı üstlenmesi, diğer bir deyişle tazmin etmesi gerekiyor.
As I said, first Russian responsibility, and then Russians have to pay for the destruction. But also, of course, the Western countries will never accept the occupied territories, because this is about the Ukrainian territorial integrity, and this is about their right to be and to use their own land. And Russia cannot choose one moment from the history and say that this is the true history, because in the history also Turks have been much more into Russian territory. We've seen Lithuanian, Polish kingdom being much more further, etc. So it's not the point that you can choose one specific moment from the history and say that this is the only right moment. In 1991, after the collapse of the Soviet Union, all the territory of Ukraine was put on paper as it is today, and we can never accept that someone is coming to take a piece of your land by force.
Estonya, Baltık Denizi'nde Rus petrolünü Avrupa'ya taşımaya çalışan Rus gölge filosunu çeşitli boğazlar ve denizlerde gözlemlemeye başlayan ve araştıran ilk ülke oldu. Estonya bu konuyu gündeme getirip Avrupa'dan uluslararası dikkat ve destek çekmeye çalışıyordu. Ve sonunda Rusya 15. yaptırımla karşılaştı. Tallinn'de Nordik Baltık 8 ülkelerinin katıldığı bir zirve yapıldı. Ve diğer Avrupa ülkelerinin de bu girişimi destekleyeceğine dair bir karar alındı.
Again, when we talk about the Shadow Fleet, this is one more proof about Russia not respecting the international law. We all know that Baltic Sea is important for Russia, transporting the oil out of Russia. But nevertheless, we see that they are doing that not by according the international maritime law, but they are using exactly the shadow fleet, etc. So it is important that the international community will react to that, and then will say very clearly that if there is something which is against international law, then we have to react.
Diğer taraftan Kasım ayında Baltık Denizi'nin altındaki telekomünikasyon kablolarında hasar meydana geldi. Finlandiya-Almanya hattındaki Sea-Lionel kablosunun arızası sabotaj şüphesini arttırdı. Peki bu bir kaza mı yoksa sabotaj mı?
First, we have to wait for the official investigation outcome. Of course, we have some doubts. Of course, there are some rumors circulating around the news. But when we really want to point a finger to someone who is guilty, we need to have proofs, we need to have evidences, and this is exactly for the investigation to find out. So let's wait for the investigation results. At the moment, the understanding is that behind 1 year back destruction of the cables in Finnish Gulf, and now between Finland and Sweden and Finland and Germany and Sweden and Lithuania, that these both vessels or both ships were belonging to Chinese companies. So now it's up to the investigation to find out all the details behind these. We might have many assumptions, but as a minister, I cannot go into the rumors or speculations. So I might have a personal opinion, but at this very moment, it's not relevant.
Eylül ayında Estonya Genelkurmay Başkanı Tümgeneral Andrus Merilo, Helsingin Sanomat gazetesine Finlandiya ve Estonya komutanlıklarının Baltık Denizi'nde olağanüstü bir durumda Rus donanmasının faaliyetlerini engellemeye yönelik bir plan geliştirmeyi amaçladıklarını söyledi. Peki bölgede savaş olasılığı ne kadar gerçekçi?
Well, we see that Russia is hostile towards its neighbors. We saw that in 2008 in Georgia. We saw that in 2014 Crimea. My understanding is that this was a preparation for larger war, what we see at the moment already close to 3 years in Ukraine. And of course we understand, and when we look at the Putin speech in Munich about 15 years ago, a bit more, and then from there you can see the intentions that there should be, well, from the Russian perspective, that there should be a gray zone between NATO and Russia. There should be no enlargement of NATO, etc. So when you read this speech, then you understand that what are the ambitious goals of Putin. And on the other hand, when we take also the officially approved plan from the Ministry of Defense of Russia, then the reality is that close to Estonian and Finnish border, Russia wants to put a new army corps, approximately 50 to 60,000 troops, a lot of new tanks, a lot of new equipment. So when this is not an escalation towards the NATO and Western countries, what it is. And this is why, of course, we have to prepare. We have to send a very clear message to Russia that don't even think about attacking NATO, because NATO will act as one, and NATO is stronger definitely together as Russia. But tell me, why Russia has to use the buffer zone outside of Russia? Russia can also build the buffer zone inside of Russia. Why they think that the buffer zone can be taken by force, by military force from the other country, so from the other nation. Look, NATO is a defensive organization, not an offensive organization. NATO has no intention to attack Russia. NATO is defending its members. And it should be each country's sovereign right to decide on which side of the civilization they want to be. Do they want to be on the side of the Western civilization or Russian civilization, where you don't have any human rights, where you don't have any freedom for press, where people are put to jail just coming onto the streets. So this is the choice, and every nation should have the free choice. And again, if Russia wants to build a buffer zone between the NATO countries and Russia, it can definitely do that inside of Russian territory, no problem.
NATO ile ilgili en çok tartışılan başlıkların başında Türkiye'nin NATO'da müttefiki olduğu ülkelerin Ankara'yı bugüne kadar Suriye'de PYD-YPG konusunda yalnız bırakması oldu. NATO Genel Sekreterliği her ne kadar Türkiye'nin sınır güvenliği ve kendini savunma hakkından bahsetse de başta ABD, Almanya ve Fransa olmak üzere üye ülkelerin tutumları Ankara tarafından çokça eleştirildi.
No, again, we have to separate each member state or each country's actions outside of their own territory and what is NATO doing as an alliance. NATO as an alliance is strictly focused on defending its member states and its territories. So this is the focus of NATO. When we talk about also, and when we take the new approved regional plans for NATO, then these plans are defense plans, not offense or attack plans. And this is why I believe that we have to keep it separately also. What is the NATO and NATO tasks, and comparing to the member states each foreign and defense policy. Because when we take also the United States and also Estonian troops in Iraq at the moment, then we are there together with our allies on Operation Inherent Resolve. So Operation Inherent Resolve is led by United States. So this is why we have to keep it separate. It's not a NATO mission. So yes, we have also NATO mission in Iraq, where Estonia is also contributing. But we have to keep them these issues separately. So this is why I don't want to go to bilateral relations between Turkey and United States. But I'm happy to elaborate and happy to discuss what NATO is for and what NATO is standing for. Yeah, but this is exactly what we have to understand, that there are differences when we talk about also, for instance, Poland. So Poland was attacked by migrants coming from Belarus. So this is not the question of defense alliance or the question of NATO. This is the question of police forces, border guards, etc. And also terrorism is not considered as a military problem at the moment. Terrorism is dealt as an internal affairs matter, also in the United States, for instance. So this is why, of course, we have to understand and separate very clearly the different tasks of different organizations. Turkey is also a member of many organizations. Estonia is part of many organizations. And for instance, we can also say that, let's say, European Union has 27 member states. Why it is not defending against the military threats? Because it has been very clearly stated that NATO is taking care of the military's defense posture and the defense, and the European Union is mainly for freedom of trade, freedom of people, and etc. So this is why we have to make the difference. And I believe also every person, doesn't matter is this person in Turkey or in Estonia, we have to make a difference why different organizations are formed.
Estonya Savunma Bakanı bu röportajı Erbil uçuşundan hemen önce İstanbul'da verdi. Peki bir Kuzey Avrupa ülkesi olan Estonya ordusu Kuzey Irak'ta hangi vesileyle bulunuyor?
Yes, as I said, we are participating in the mission called Operation Inherent Resolve, and we know that this operation will be reformed. Of course, we have to wait because the lead country is United States. We'll see when the President Trump administration starts its term, then probably there will be a change in the mission. But at the moment, yes, Estonia has around 100 troops in Iraq on this mission. And we are helping to secure the peace in this region. So this is what the allies are doing. We are not there because we just went there. We are there because Iraqi government asked us, or actually asked the United States, to provide that kind of service, that kind of security guarantee, and then this is why the United States formed Operation Inherent Resolve.
Gürcistan'da seçim sonrası ve öncesi AB karşıtı yasal girişimlerden sonra Baltık ülkelerinin Tiflis'teki yönetime karşı sert tepkisi oldu. Bazı politikacılar ambargo listenize alındı. Gürcistan'da yaşanan olaylar ışığında Baltık ve Kafkasya gibi Rusya'nın komşuluğunda kısa vadeli bir gerilim tırmanması hakkındaki yorumlarınız nelerdir?
As we see also from Syria, that Russia is not able to handle many crises at one moment. So of course Georgia is different because they've been manipulating with the Georgian nation and Georgian people for a long time already, and we have seen many proofs about the violation of the election freedom. And unfortunately, the regime today in Georgia is not ready to conduct or to bring new elections onto the table. And of course, this is something what the Western countries are not proving, because we get a lot of information about different violations of the elections. So this is why, of course, first and foremost, it's for the Georgian people to come out and to say that this is not the way they want to live, and this has not been the election result they voted for, and of course this is a very clear proof how Russia is trying to affect different neighbors by also intervening to elections. We saw that in Romania. Lately, we saw that in Moldova. Also during the Estonian parliament elections, we had one party who got some orders from Russian services. So this is unfortunately what we see. And of course, again, this is very clearly showing that Russia is not respecting the freedoms of its neighbors. And the only way to fight with this is to come out open with this and to show what Russia is actually doing, how they are influencing not only European elections, but also we've seen that they try to manipulate with US elections.
Baltık ülkelerinin gündeminde olan bir diğer güvenlik endişesi de Polonya ve Litvanya arasında kalan Suwałki koridoru ile ilgili. Koridorun Belarus'un desteğiyle Rus kontrolüne geçmesi halinde Baltık ülkelerinin ve hem NATO hem de Avrupa Birliği sınırlarıyla kara bağlantısı kesilmiş olacak. Bu başlık Rusya'da gündeme gelmese de Baltık ülkelerinde üzerinde sıkça konuşulan bir konu. Peki Estonya, Suwałki koridoru meselesini gerçekten ciddi bir tehdit olarak görüyor mu?
We all understand that Belarus is fully under the Russian control, especially when we talk about the military actions. We see that during this ongoing war of aggression in Ukraine. And as Russia has also Kaliningrad enclave, so then of course we all understand that the corridor called Suwałki in between Lithuania and Poland is critical for us. It is important connection, and as it is so narrow, of course we need to do everything we can in order to keep it free. When we come to this neighborhood, and as we are here in Istanbul at the moment, so when we talk about Turkish Straits or Bosporus Strait, so is it a problem for Turkey when it will be closed? I believe it is. So it's the same with Suwałki corridor. So it's just put it to local conditions, local understanding, and you will understand how important it is.